when I was in high school, I was the kind of guy that wasn't in a clique. I befriended everybody, okay? I don't know if it was my personality or whatever it was, but I integrated all those little cliques that used to exist in high school, you know? Didn't bother me. Some people thought I was part of it, but no. This young man, his name is Vincent Quarles. He has a sister, Patricia Quarles. His sister did her student teaching in our senior year in 1965. People in the area remember her as Pat Quarles, not Patricia. But Vincent and I became bonded. And I mean bonded. I don't have to see him every day. And quite frankly, I don't. I would like to see more of him. But whenever we're together, you know how it works. You know that you have a friend. Vincent lives in North Carolina. His girlfriend is a longtime friend of mine, also a classmate. Her name is Marilyn Foster. Marilyn and I dated at one time. Did she ever tell you that? Yeah, she did that. You don't have to worry. I'm not, you know what? Nothing happened. Marilyn was a sweetheart, and she still is today. I'm very fond of her, very fond of him, and I'm glad after all of these years, because they haven't been together very long, but I'm glad that these two connected. They're good people, good people. And you hear people say salt of the earth, both of them. In fact, Marilyn, I wrote a recommendation to the Richmond Arts Committee to have Marilyn be a part of the Richmond Art Anna Society, who was the art group for the city of Richmond. And of course, there were no blacks on that committee, but I was involved with them in my involvement with the Maggie Walker statue. And I really wanted Marilyn because she's a great contributor and a strong guy. Wonderful person. Wonderful. Now, have I missed anybody? I got that to you.
Who's classmate?
Excuse me?
Classmate.
What classmate? Oh, my bro. Yeah, right. Move. Stand up. Stand up.
Not Tyrone, just stand.
Now, this is a classmate of mine, and we were in a social club together back in the day. His name is Tyrone Wilkins. Tyrone's wife is Sandra Bell Wilkins. Sandra Bell Wilkins has the dossier. You know what I mean? She's got credentials up the wazoo. You know, great credentials. Lived overseas, in charge of fashion in Doha for VCU, the fashion director. How he got her a little bit. The connection for Tyrone and I has always been from his standpoint, not mine. He's always contentious for some reason. Always. Come on, man. And he was like that when we were in high school, and he remained that way all through my life. But I love it. Let me tell you why I love it. When I said to the guys in my social club at that time that I was getting married, they wanted to know who I was married. They wanted to know, well, it's got to be somebody important. He met this girl in Kansas City, and he's going to marry her in June 1st, 1969. I'm in Kansas City, getting ready for my wedding. You don't have a picture of that event. You can see it tomorrow. Tyrone and two other guys, Freddie Bug. Y'all remember Freddie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Walter Thomas.
Oh, yes.
Okay? They got in the car and they drove from Richmond to Kansas City to see me get there. Wow. I was shocked. Shocked. Couldn't believe it. You call it friendship? I call it strange. I've never been so overjoyed. The only people that were in Kansas City at the time was my father, my aunt, your stepmother, and that was it from Richmond. Yeah, I got, which is her stepmother. Yeah. Because my mother, my adopted mother, couldn't go because she had a heart condition and she couldn't travel. So, I'm glad Sandy's out of the room. I do, brother. I give him a hard time, but I do love Tyrone. And Tyrone, what did Eric Badu say? But it's all on Tyrone. He took that to heart. Back in the day, he took it to heart. All right. And before I wind down, I want to introduce to you the loves of my life. These are the loves of my life. I worked at Best Products for a number of years with Murphy and I, Earl Murphy. But these three ladies worked there also. This young lady, her name is Brenda Carter. Brenda comes from Caroline County, and she is part of the largest Carter family. A lot of people know the Carters that live in Richmond. Her father and her uncle. Yeah. And Wesley, what was Wesley? First term. Yeah, first term. Wesley Carter used to be a physician here in the city of Richmond. Very prominent guy. Wesley Jr. Wesley Sr.
That's another story.
That's it. But a good story.
Oh, yeah. 105 years old, still driving.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, his son, Wesley.
105 is still driving.
Yeah.
Wow. Excellent. Excellent.
thought I forgot about that. I'm coming to you. Okay. Brenda Carter used to be employed at Tarleton, Miller and Rhodes, yes, before she came to Best Products. And when she came to Best Products, there were only three blacks in corporate. Dudley Parker, Marion Yarbrough, and myself. But I was in merchandising. Marion was in human resources, and Dudley was the director of security. We hired Brenda. We, and I say we, I was a part of the hiring process because I had to make sure we had the right person to deal with the issues of the day. She happened to be the person we chose. But in so doing, keep it clean. In so doing, she flipped the script on me because I wouldn't have anything to do with her during work time, like going to the cafeteria, you know, I wouldn't say how you doing, but get moving. Because in those days and today, you know where I'm coming from when I say today. If someone wants you out and they can't get to you, and they know you got a friend somewhere, they will take them just to get at right? And that's the truth. Even today, that's a true story and it exists. She flipped the script, thought it was me that didn't like her and called me an uppity, N-word. And all the time, I'm trying to save her. Okay? It was okay. And I have worked, listen to me, I've worked all these years since trying to prove to her that I'm better than she thought. Thank you very much. I know I'm better, no doubt about it. Okay? That's my friend. My friend, Brenda Carter. She had a business, a clothing business. I seeded her $1,000 and tied it into gifts for friends of mine, females, to go shop there. The lady I'm going to go to after I finish with Jackie, it was one of those recipients. I think Yvonne was one of those recipients of that gift. And it helped her with her business. And that's all I've been about, is helping others and doing business.
Amen.
The next young lady, her name is Dale Washington. She was the cutest little thing. Oh, still is, but cutest little thing. She was a newbie when I was at Madison. And I really wanted to take her by the hand and just show her the ropes. But she continued by herself with a lot of help from a lot of people, right? A lot of help from a lot of people. Okay? A lot of people took her under their wing, and she's done remarkably well. And your daughter looks just like you used to. My other best products and merchandise sales corporation employee and good friend, I love her to death. Her name is Dolores Brown. Dolores used to work for me at my company, Merchandise Sales, but she started at Best Product. She was with me at Best Product, and she's just a great person, great personality, diligent. I can't speak any more than that. She's had some trials and tribulations in life with family members, my husband, she lost. And I've tried to be there for you whenever I could. But she's a sweetheart. And these three women are sweethearts. Now, let me go back. I'm going to flip it just one more time and talk about that brother from another mother who shares a similar story to mine. He doesn't want me to say anything about it, but I will. This young man, his name is James Pop Howard. Everybody calls him Pop. Okay? He's known in the hood. Out of that same hood that we grew up in, he fell in love with this lady, his wife, Helen. Now, Pop and I have been close for a long time.
Since the third grade.
And he's like most of the guys that have been in military service and have suffered because of it. How many Purple Hearts do you have?
I have Bronze Star. I have 10 medals, Bronze Star.
Bronze Star.
I have medals.
Wow. Bronze Star. How old was he?
This brother is a hero. A hero. A hero. And Robert, it took him years to get 100%. He just got it. Just got it.
That's all.
And then finally, and we can talk about the issues with the VA and how they treat walk. Okay? Takes a long time. And if you file paperwork, they file it too. 13. Okay? That's what they generally do for Jones and Smith and Tyreek and whatever your name is. That doesn't sound like that. All right? But this is my brother. Next, we share a heritage because he's born in June. I'm born in June. He's adopted. I'm adopted. Okay?
My name's James. Your name.
His name is James. His wife, Helen, Deacon Helen Cowens, is a prayer warrior. Amen? He's a prayer warrior. Buddy, you're healed when she's done. Okay? She's got that direct. All right. Now, speaking of prayer warriors, Jackie Moss, my classmate. I love this lady. God directed me to her out of high school. And as We are classmates. When I held her hand, she felt in me what feelings God was taking control. She's walked with me through my sickness, what I felt, my health issues, all the way through. The loss of Yvonne, and she was close with Yvonne. She was there. She was there for me.
And praying all the time.
Yes, without a doubt.
Yes.
Didn't I introduce you already? But Jackie, yes, look, Jean is like that because she was the first lady. She thinks she's in charge. You know, that's what I have to do. And I can tell you the backstory about Jean. Her husband and I were reasonably close. Reverend Bill Gibson, a powerhouse. Powerhouse. Yes. In this community and others. Out of Boston. Okay? Powerhouse. And she had the pleasure of being his partner. She was like your daddy, and her husband was like your daddy. Your husband, okay? Bill Gibson was one heck of a man. Yeah, a blessing. Jackie is spiritually tied in to heaven. She is, without a doubt. I put my faith and trust in her communications with the Lord, without a doubt. I failed to mention when I was introducing the McCrays, the eldest sibling of Robert. His mother was named Louise, his father was named Bob. They didn't want to name little Bob, so they named him Robert. Robin Jr. But this is Barbara McCray. Barbara was married to Robert's older brother, James. James McCray. He was known around the neighborhood as Young Blood. Because he could shoot poop. He was the baddest guy on the poop team. He'd suck them in and take all. Now, last but not least, there's a story I've got to share with you about this one. This is Reverend Dr. Angela S. Duncan, PhD. All right.
All right.
Angie and her husband Phil Duncan, a cardiologist, currently with VCU. And at one time, I guess he still is, head of the department of cardiology. He's not anymore. Oh, another one. Yeah. But Angela and Phil raised two daughters. One of them is here tonight. His daughter, Erica. Erica is visiting from a land far, far away. What is that land? Spain. Erica, and she has a sister, Ariel. Those are the two girls. Those two girls grew up with my children. In fact, you and Camille traveled to Argentina together. Okay? She, about Camille. Yeah. Camille was the mothering type, always has been, and continues to be. Don't let her stature fool you. Am I right, Robert? Don't let her stature fool you. You know, the story is this. Yvonne was in the hospital, and she had not been responsive for several days. Erica and Angie came in one evening to see her and to pray with her.